Hi, I'm Renée Gadar. I'm the Global Artistic Director of Texture for Aveda.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and I am going to be interviewing Renée Gadar today.
Hi, Catherine.
Hello. All right, so to start out, how many countries have you educated in?
So I'm relatively new to the role of the Global Artistic Director for Texture for Aveda. So I didn't educate in Scotland, but I've been to Scotland to do a shoot with B. Carmichael there, but didn't educate there. Yeah. Because when I got this role, we were in full lockdown. Estee Lauder wasn't even permitting travel. So I'm still a newbie in the global game.
Oh, awesome. Well, I'm excited for you to grow and see new places.
Thanks.
How did you become the Global Artistic Director for Textured Hair? Your journey from starting at hair school to today.
So my journey to hair school was a long one. I started doing hair when I was 9. And then I always imagined going to cosmetology school, like in high school, didn't work out, in college, didn't work out. Then when I graduated, I felt like I needed to make money, went to be a teacher after. And then I think that equipped me with the skills to come over to cosmetology. So I went to a cosmetology school in New York City, and then I worked in that salon as a hair cutter for like 6 years, and then went independent. During my time there, I worked with a man named Tatum Neal, and Tatum Neal is a part of the Neal family, who's a huge supplier of Aveda products to all of the Aveda salons. And that's how come I started teaching inside of the schools, because Aveda Neal and Aveda Arts partner together to run the 17 schools that they own. So I was touring all of the schools and teaching into this very basic texture program that they had, and I filled it out more, and Aveda Global just caught wind of me just out in the network. And then they called a group of us together to build a more formidable texture program. And when I came to Minneapolis, Minnesota, I met Tracy Freeman, Austin Call, and Naomi Dove. And they had just been in the Aveda hair game for, between them, I think about 40 years in total or so. And I just learned so much from them. And I think as we were working and building the curriculum, I think that I received just the title because all of the things that I had done up until that point. It was very helpful that I was a teacher in the past. I knew how to build curriculum. I knew how to stand in front of a class and teach. And I think, I'm not really sure what gave me the title from that group, but I'm really glad that I have it. And I still work really closely, particularly with Naomi Dove. And I wish I got to see Tracy and Austin more.
Yeah. Well, we're so happy to have you here. And we met Austin earlier this year, and he's fantastic.
Yeah, isn't he sweet? He's a sweet guy.
Love him. What is your favorite part of being in the industry?
My favorite part of being in the industry is all the really cool people that I meet. I just feel like I'm one of those people that know a little about a lot of things, because my clients come from all these different industries and they do all of these different things. And I get to talk one-on-one with somebody for a solid hour, like it's a therapy session. Yeah. And I get to learn so much about a person. I think the hair and scalp is such a sensitive place, or personal space really, not sensitive. And so there's not many people in that region of us. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like it's like a ripe environment for someone to open up and to talk to you. And I feel like so many of my clients I'm friends with, even though our friendship is once every 3 months for an hour, you know? And I value that's my favorite part of the gig.
I'm always so honored when people in my chair and they're just vulnerable. You know? I feel special that they're able to open up to me in that way.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I feel like hairdressers, we just know everybody's tea.
Yes.
You know? That's great.
I'm like a sponge for everybody's tea.
Yeah.
So moving on, have you ever been to Winnipeg before?
I have never been to Winnipeg before.
Had you heard of Winnipeg before you
Yes, I heard of it, but my geography and many other Americans it really is terrible. Yeah. So I have no idea visually, I'm looking at a map, where Winnipeg would be. Yeah. How west or east it is.
At least you know we're north.
Yes, we're north.
How did you enjoy spending your 2 days with our team?
Oh, I loved this team. I think this team is accustomed to education by the way you asked questions and by the way you took the information back to your stations to practice on your mannequins. Sometimes I'll go to salons and they're not used to education. And I can always feel it when someone's used to education. Also, I ask you guys to talk to me and you guys really actually do talk to me. It makes the hours go by so much faster.
I agree.
It's been great being here with y'all.
Yeah, I'm always so happy to have you. Right. What did our team get to learn from you while you were here? Just like expand a little bit on that.
Yeah. So the team got to learn about textured hair and really like the technical skills to taking care of someone who has textured hair, but also the soft skills to taking care of someone who has textured hair. Kind of thinking about all the things that they might be thinking. Texture doesn't belong to one race, but I do know that if the reality of a 3A who is white walking in versus the reality of a Latin or a Black girl who has a 3A walking in, the context feels different, and then going in to do the hair feels different. I don't think our industry talks about that enough. They're like, oh, but everyone has texture. And I do believe that. But I also know that there's a reason why salons are segregated, and I'm trying to bridge that gap. I want me, the team, everyone, we're just trying to bridge that gap. So making sure like a salon like this one understands that when someone who looks like me walks in, what I could be thinking. And then how you would approach me knowing or understanding or empathizing with what I could be thinking. How you say hi to me, how you take me back to the seat, how you consult with me, the kind of questions that you're gonna ask me to lower my anxiety, to help me to feel more comfortable being in your chair. And then like working with me, like we can even make it collaborative as you guys are, refining your skills in the technical skills in textured hair. I think it's the soft skills that really would desegregate the salons. Yeah.
I know we, like speaking for the team, for myself, we just appreciate having someone in the space that we can ask these questions because we don't always get an opportunity to like have someone we can speak to and has like a one-on-one conversation with them.
Sure. Yeah.
What about this class excites you as an educator?
Oh, creating more safe spaces for women who look like me. I think that with a growing income for Black and brown women, they're working more. They have more income to spend on hair. And even when they didn't, generally that demographic spends 80% more on hair than any other demographic. And with that, I wanted to make sure that we can move into luxury spaces to get our hair done. I think in history's past, not a lot of people who did my hair went to cosmetology school because there wasn't anything to learn in cosmetology to help them do the craft on the demographic that they wanted to do it on. So a lot of times it's like unlicensed care, and a lot of times it takes a long time. So you'll be in the salon for 5-6 hours at a time. And if I'm working and I'm busy, like we're out here, we're moms, we're working, we've got all of these things to do. So I personally want to be able to set an appointment, be taken on time, and then leave at a reasonable time. Even if I'm paying a high dollar, I'm like the demographic already has exhibited that they're willing to pay a high dollar. It's just being able to spend it in a place that feels luxurious. And usually luxurious spaces hire those that have licenses. And so I want to make sure that this education is in the schools so that those who are getting licensed and populating these salons in the future have the skills that I came here to teach today. Yeah.
How do you think that it will help them serving their guests day to day? Like how will we implement the skills in this?
Yeah, so this is widely important to serve everyone, right? So I have a firm belief if we say that we're hairdressers, no matter the hair that comes in, we should be able to dress it. And so this is just expanding your knowledge so that you are better able, or you feel better equipped to do just that.
Why do you believe continuing education is so important for hairstylists?
Man, if you stop like let's say you've been a stylist since 1970, right? But you stopped learning in 1980. Your work is gonna look like 1980 work.
Yep.
Yeah. So hair and the beauty industry changes very fast. There's a lot of things like if I'm not on YouTube for like 2 or 3 months, I come back to YouTube and I'm like, wow, they're making lace front wigs way better.
Yeah.
It turns over so fast. So I'm just a firm believer in being a continued learner because if your learning stops, your craft stops. And then you just start feeling antiquated. So you should always be learning.
Yeah, we need to evolve as the world evolves.
Yes.
What advice would you give to someone who's interested in a hairstylist as a career?
Oh, well, it's a really fun career.
Yeah.
You get to make people feel beautiful. And I think it's it gives me a lot of power to empower someone else to do their hair. I know that like people have different priorities. So some people spend $150 on shoes, but don't want to spend a lot on their hair. But I'm like, you don't wear those shoes every day, but you wear your hair every day.
Exactly.
And as a hairdresser, you get to help them take care of something that they're wearing every day to express themselves or just to present to the world. And when someone has like either a love-hate relationship with their hair and you give them a plan, you kind of go through a journey with people. And you build these really cool relationships with people that you might have never run into in your life. And I think that it makes you feel, you know how sometimes when you're talking to like someone who's well-traveled, you can tell like they've been to different things, they've tasted different foods. I feel like that's what a hairdresser gives you. You run into so many different people, it just broadens your gaze. And I don't know, it makes you more empathetic to humanity. So like you're taking care of humans and it builds your own humanity, and it's just so much more than hair. I have seen so many tears in my chair because I know that it's so much more than hair. And hairdressers just get the opportunity to do that for people, with people.
Yeah,
I love
so
that.
lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think about it day to day when you're like just sitting in your chair, or you're just talking to all these people, but like the amount of like information and different sides of things you hear, it's insane.
It is insane, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love it for us.
I'll take it every day. What is the most valuable experience of your career?
Ooh, my most valuable experience of my career, I would say working in the salon that I worked in before I went independent. Nick Arrojo was just very adamant about education, and he just demanded excellence from his people. And it helped me build the muscle to do that. It helped me to remember to have consultations with my client every time. It helped me remember to clean up my space before I left it, or leave it cleaner than how I found it. And I don't know, I just believed in the tenets that he had, and it helped make my craftsmanship excellent. And that has just carried me very far, because like I speak about hair, but I feel like I also have the technical skill to back up what I'm talking about. And I think that's just made me authentic. And I think the authenticity of all of that coming together has propelled me in my career.
Yeah, those are like great building blocks to make like amazing hairstylists.
Yeah, yeah.
Where do you think your next steps will take you?
Oh man, I have no idea. To be really honest, like if you asked me 5 years ago, do you want to be the Global Artistic Director of Texture for Aveda, I'd have been like, who's Aveda? And what is that position? I don't know, how much does it pay?
Yeah.
Like I had no idea. I think for me, it has always just been like showing up 15 minutes early to life. So I have a job, I'm gonna be there 15 minutes early. I need to bring in models, I'm gonna bring in one on my extra day, on my day off. It's just like always showing up early and with integrity and doing the best work you can with what you have. Like I always respect janitors who like take their job seriously. I respect people who work at fast food restaurants and just care about the work, even if they're not going to stay there for a really long time, because it shows. And anytime you show up to anything that you're doing that way, life will advance you. And I just truly believe in that. And so I feel like in this position right now, I couldn't have predicted it 5 years ago. I have no idea where I'll be in 5 years. But I believe that like my ethics will propel me forward. I just don't know what that is.
Well, it's so exciting. Well, thank you so much, Renee.
Yeah, thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.